during the summer, I didn't just up and leave yet. Okay, so I ended up meeting somebody who owned their own company, like a cleaning company, and I ended up working for that cleaning company. And I remember, I let them know, like, I'm going to end up leaving to Georgia. I'm going to Georgia, whatever. I'm going. And I didn't go yet. I still was working. I remember my mom telling me, like, you need to leave. Like, you keep on waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. I'm like, Mom, I don't even have the money. And mind y'all, the car I have a 2003 Lexus. Okay? And it was breaking down on me when I was still living in Pennsylvania. When I tell you breaking down, I mean it would stop working. It would literally stop in the middle of the road. I would have to turn my car off and turn it back on. And it would do this often. It would literally act like it's about to break down on the highway. And I'm like, whoa. And it kept doing it. So I'm telling my mom, I'm like, I can't just drive in this car, Mom. And then I don't have no money. I don't have nowhere to go. And she's like, you're looking at all your circumstances, but you're not looking at faith. You need faith. I'm just like, well, Mom, I'm not there. I'm not there. I don't have the faith yet. Which I didn't. I did not have the faith. I knew what I needed to do. I just felt like I had to have all of the puzzle pieces together before I did it. Well, come to find out, my sister up and left. She just up and left. Like, she packed her kids' clothes in her clothes and she just drove. And when I tell you that God provided for her every step of the way, if I can, I will do an interview on her and see if she'll talk about her journey. She's still on her journey, but see if she'll talk to y'all about her journey on the way here, because it was just amazing. Her story is amazing, but God literally kept her the whole way. She didn't have no money, but as she went to go see family members, people were giving her money, and God provided for her every step of the way. Every step of the way. She didn't have to sleep in her car or nothing like that. So that encouraged me. It was like, to me, she was like the Harriet Tubman. Like, she paved the way. You know what I'm saying? She was the first one to go. And when I seen her do that, I said, well, if she can do that with 5 kids, I can do that by myself. So God told me to leave on a certain day. He said October 15th, it's time to go. So, I worked for the rest of the summer, and then I packed up my stuff. And on October 15th, I left. I just drove. I had $230. That's it. And most of the money went to gas. I didn't know how I was going to make it. I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know where I was going to stay at. I didn't have nowhere to stay. I had nowhere to live. I just went. I just went on faith, because I said, you know what? There's a reason why he's calling me to do this. There's a reason why he just wants me to leave. Now, let me say this. This is not for everybody. Everyone's not supposed to just jump out and just leave your house with no money, okay? Listen, if God's encouraging you to move, save up. Do what you got to do. Save up your money. Look for houses and see if you can get a house or in a job before you go to the next destination. But sometimes he'll have you take a leap of faith. But I know this is for somebody, because you have to take a leap of faith. Anyways, so I left. And when I finally got to Georgia, what did I do? Because I got to North Carolina, and I slept in my car. And then when I got to Georgia, I ended up staying in a hotel. And thank God for people that bless you. My mom looked out for me. And I stayed in the hotel for about a week. And I was calling like all over for shelters, because I just wanted to be able to be somewhere where I can save up my money and not keep paying for a hotel. And I didn't have the money for it. But the crazy thing is, so like the third day I was at the hotel, my time was up. And this woman that I know sent me $200 out of nowhere. God. When I tell you that was God, I didn't ask for it. I wasn't calling around asking people for help. This woman just cashed at me $200, and that got me a couple more days at the hotel. And then after that, I needed somewhere to go. So, I was calling around, calling shelters, and a lot of shelters in Georgia only take women and children and single men. A lot of them don't take single women. I don't know why, but it was like most of the shelters only took women and children and single men. So I was getting discouraged. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, you told me to come out here. You know, you sent me out here. You said just to go. And I'm like, Lord, I need you to, I need help here. He was like, keep looking. Don't stop looking. Keep calling around. I'm like, okay. So eventually I'm calling. So right when I paid for another couple days, I get a call back from one of these shelters. And they were like, we have a bed, but I can't hold it for you. So if you make it here today, good. If it's here by Monday, it was like a Friday or something like that. She was like, it might still be here by Monday, but it might not. If somebody else takes it, they just take it. So I was like, oh, I can't do that. So I got the money back from the hotel, and I went to the shelter. And, God blessed me with a roof over my head, in a bed or whatever, food in my mouth.